What if I told you that right now, as you're watching this, the past still exists? Not as a memory, not as an echo, but as a real place in the universe, just as solid and present as the room you're sitting in. And the future? It's already there too, waiting. You probably think time flows, carrying you from past to future like a river rushing toward the horizon. But what if that's completely wrong? What if time doesn't flow at all? Let's explore this together and see whether the now you feel you're experiencing is even real. Think about a star. When you look at it, the light reaching your eyes left that star years ago, maybe centuries ago. That star might not even exist anymore. It could have exploded into a supernova, scattered across the galaxy, and yet you still see it twinkling peacefully in the night sky. You are literally looking into the past. This isn't metaphorical. This isn't poetic. It's how the universe actually behaves. You are seeing something that happened long ago, as if it's happening right now. And it's not only distant stars. When you look at your hand, you're seeing it as it was a tiny fraction of a second ago, because light takes time to travel from your hand to your eyes. When you talk to someone across the table, you're hearing words that left their lips milliseconds ago. Everything you perceive is already gone by the time you perceive it. You have never experienced the present, ever. You only experience the past. Now you might say, sure, but those delays are tiny. Practically we all experience the same now. That's exactly what everyone thought Newton thought so, generations before him. But a young patent clerk in Switzerland asked a question nobody had properly asked before. Imagine standing on a train platform with a clock at each end. How do you make sure both clocks show the same time? One solution. Send a light signal from the midpoint. When the light reaches each clock, they start ticking. Perfect. Synchronized. Now comes the twist. What if the platform itself is moving? What if you're on a train, synchronizing clocks at the front and back? To you, in the middle of the train, the light reaches both clocks simultaneously. Excellent. But to someone standing on the platform, it looks different. The light moving toward the back doesn't have to travel as far because the back is moving toward it. The light moving toward the front must travel farther because the front moves away. From the platform observer's perspective, one clock starts before the other. Pause and think about that. You, on the train, say the clocks started together. The observer on the platform says otherwise. Who's right? The shocking answer, you're both right. Simultaneity, the idea that two events happen at the same time, is not absolute. It depends on your motion. There is no universal now. There is no single moment in the universe that everyone agrees is the present. When you ask, what's happening on Mars right now? There is no single answer. Not because we can't see Mars in real time, but because right now does not mean the same thing to someone moving relative to you. If we're moving at different speeds, we literally disagree about what's happening now. Our slices of space-time don't match. This isn't philosophy. It's measurable. Atomic clocks on airplanes tick at different rates than atomic clocks on the ground. GPS satellites must correct for this, or your directions would be off. Time genuinely runs at different speeds depending on your motion and your position in a gravitational field. Here's the part that truly twists intuition. If there's no universal now, then past and future aren't what we think. Our intuition says the past is gone and the future hasn't happened yet, while only the present exists. But if different observers disagree about the present, what does past or future even mean? Galileo had a clue centuries ago. He said if you're on a ship moving smoothly across calm water, below deck with no windows, there's no experiment to tell whether the ship is moving or stationary. Drop a ball, it falls straight down. Throw something, it arcs normally. Motion is relative. Only relative to something else does movement exist. Now consider this idea pushed further. The laws of physics must work for everyone, no matter how they move. But Maxwell's equations, describing light and electromagnetism, say light always travels at the same speed, 300 million meters per second, no matter who measures it. Here's the puzzle. If you're on a spaceship moving at half the speed of light and shine a flashlight forward, common sense says the light should move at 1.5 times the speed of light relative to the ground. But Maxwell says no, light still moves at exactly the speed of light, not faster, not slower. So which is right? The answer is that space and time themselves bend. They stretch and compress to ensure the speed of light is constant for everyone. Imagine traveling at 90% the speed of light. You shine a flashlight. You see the light move at full speed. Observers on Earth see the same. How is this possible? Time on your spaceship is running slower than time on Earth, much slower. The spaceship itself contracts in the direction of motion. Space and time warp to preserve light speed. Now comes the existential twist. If time runs differently for different observers, then past, present, and future cannot flow. They cannot unfold. They must all exist simultaneously. Right now, for you, there's a now on Earth, a now on Mars, a now in a distant galaxy. Someone moving fast past you slices space-time differently. Their now on Mars might be 5 minutes in your past or 5 minutes in your future. Both are equally valid. There is no absolute now. All those different nows exist together. The entire history of the universe, from the Big Bang to heat death, exists as a single four-dimensional structure. Everything that ever happened and everything that will happen is already laid out like frames on a film reel. You are not moving through time. You are a four-dimensional object embedded in space-time. Your past self eating breakfast exists just as much as your present self watching this, and your future self reading tomorrow's news exists too, just in a different segment of space-time. The flow of time, the feeling that the present is special while the past is gone and the future isn't here, is an illusion. Why do we feel time passing? Because we don't. We experience a series of static moments, each containing memories. Our brains stitch them together, creating the illusion of flow. Think of a movie. Motion exists on the screen, but the film itself doesn't move. Every frame exists simultaneously. Watching it creates the illusion of movement. Space-time is the real. Every moment of your life exists as a frame. Consciousness reads them in order, creating the experience of time passing. Particles don't have histories like we imagine. Each is a four-dimensional snake winding through space-time. Past, present, and future are segments of the same snake. If the future exists, what about free will? Are your actions predetermined? In a sense, yes, you're discovering the part of space-time you occupy, but the block universe doesn't unfold. There's no before the Big Bang, no after the heat death. Space-time just exists. Here's the liberating truth. You cannot access the future. You cannot know it. Light speed limits prevent causes from affecting events before they happen. The past is fixed. The future exists, but you cannot peek at it. You experience life, moment by moment, moving at 1 second per second. That experience is real. That feeling of now is the universe observed from inside. Time keeps everything from happening at once. Space keeps everything from happening to me. Time and space are inseparable, and you, your life, your choices, your existence are permanently etched into space-time. The flow of time is an illusion, but the moments are real. Every moment you ever lived or will live exists. You're not a fleeting spark. You're a permanent feature of the universe. The past didn't disappear. The future isn't waiting. They're here, woven into reality itself. When you feel the present slipping away, remember, it isn't. Every moment is eternally present. Every choice matters. Every word, every kindness, every action is etched into space-time forever. You exist permanently, moving through a structure that already contains everything. And if this blew your mind, Imagine what other mysteries the universe holds. Subscribe now for more mind-bending explorations into the nature of reality, space, and time. Together, we'll continue uncovering the secrets of the universe, one frame at a time. See you in next video. Goodbye.